the ultimate guide to self-improvement with Stoic principles. Do you want to live a better life? A life that is not disturbed by external events, but guided by your own reason and virtue? A life that is not enslaved by your passions, but free from any attachment or fear. A life that is not wasted on trivial pursuits, but devoted to the pursuit of wisdom and excellence. If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you are in the right place. In this video, we will introduce you to the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and show you how it can help you achieve self-improvement and happiness in the modern world. What is Stoicism? Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy that flourished in ancient Greece and Rome. It was founded by Zeno of Citium in the 3rd century BC and developed by his successors, such as Chrysippus, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics believed that the practice of virtue is enough to achieve eudaimonia, a well-lived life. They identified the path to achieving it with a life spent practicing the 4 virtues in everyday life: wisdom, courage, temperance or moderation, and justice, and living in accordance with nature. The Stoics also held that certain destructive emotions resulted from errors of judgment, and they believed people should aim to maintain a will called prohairesis that is in accordance with nature. Because of this, the Stoics thought the best indication of an individual's philosophy was not what a person said, but how a person behaved. To live a good life, one had to understand the rules of the natural order, since they believed everything was rooted in nature. Why Stoicism? You may wonder why we should care about an ancient philosophy that was popular more than 2,000 years ago. What relevance does it have for us today? The answer is simple. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, but a way of life. A way of life that is practical, rational, and ethical. A way of life that can help us cope with the challenges and uncertainties of the modern world. A way of life that can help us improve ourselves and our relationships with others. Stoicism is not a dogmatic or rigid system of beliefs, but a flexible and adaptable framework of principles and practices. It does not tell us what to think, but how to think. It does not tell us what to do, but how to do it. It does not tell us what to feel, but how to feel. Stoicism is not a passive or pessimistic attitude, but an active and optimistic one. It does not make us indifferent or apathetic, but resilient and compassionate. It does not make us weak or cowardly, but strong and courageous. Stoicism is not a religion or a cult, but a philosophy or a science. It does not require faith or worship, but reason and evidence. It does not promise salvation or paradise, but happiness and peace. Stoicism is not a theory or a speculation, but a practice and a way of living. It is not something we learn or study, but something we do and apply. It is not something we know or believe, but something we are and become. How to practice Stoicism. Now that we have a general idea of what Stoicism is and why it matters, let us see how we can practice it in our daily lives. Here are some of the main Stoic principles and practices that can help us achieve self-improvement and happiness. 1. Know what is in your control and what is not. One of the most fundamental and important Stoic teachings is the dichotomy of control, the distinction between what is in our power and what is not. As Epictetus, the former slave and Stoic teacher, said, "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." The Stoics advised us to focus on what is in our control and to accept or ignore what is not. By doing so, we can avoid unnecessary stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, and disappointment. We can also avoid wasting our time, energy, and resources on things that are beyond our reach or influence. For example, we cannot control the weather, the traffic, the economy, the actions of other people, or the outcome of our efforts. But we can control our attitude, our choices, our actions, and our reactions. We can control how we interpret, respond, and adapt to the situations we face. The Stoics taught us to use the power of reason to judge what is in our control and what is not, and to act accordingly. They also taught us to use the power of will to align our desires and aversions with what is in our control and what is not, and to be content with what we have and what happens. As Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." 2. Live according to nature. Another key Stoic principle is to live according to nature. This means to live in harmony with the nature of the universe, the nature of human beings, and the nature of ourselves. To live in harmony with the nature of the universe, we need to recognize and appreciate the order, beauty, and rationality of the cosmos. We need to understand and follow the laws of nature and to see ourselves as part of the whole. We need to accept and embrace the fate or providence that governs everything, and to trust that everything happens for a reason and for the best. To live in harmony with the nature of human beings, we need to acknowledge and respect the dignity, rationality, and sociability of ourselves and others. We need to cultivate and practice the 4 virtues of wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice, and to avoid the vices that oppose them. We need to cooperate and contribute to the common good, and to treat others as we would like to be treated. To live in harmony with the nature of ourselves, we need to discover and develop our true potential, talents, and passions. We need to pursue our personal growth, excellence, and happiness, and to fulfill our purpose and role in life. We need to be authentic, honest, and consistent, and to live in accordance with our values and principles. As Seneca, the Roman statesman and Stoic writer, said, "Live according to nature, that is, in obedience to her, and do not complain of her. She governs all things and has ordained them for you." 3. Use your reason and judgment. One of the main characteristics that distinguishes human beings from other animals is the ability to reason. Reason is the faculty that allows us to think, learn, understand, and communicate. Reason is also the source of our knowledge, wisdom, and virtue. The Stoics valued reason as the highest and most essential part of our nature and as the guide and ruler of our lives. They urged us to use our reason and judgment in everything we do, and to avoid being influenced by our emotions, impulses, or opinions. The Stoics taught us to use our reason and judgment to examine and evaluate our perceptions, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. They taught us to use our reason and judgment to distinguish between what is true and false, good and bad, right and wrong. They taught us to use our reason and judgment to make wise decisions, to solve problems, and to achieve our goals. The Stoics also taught us to use our reason and judgment to improve ourselves and our lives. They taught us to use our reason and judgment to learn from our experiences, to correct our mistakes, and to overcome our weaknesses. They taught us to use our reason and judgment to develop our virtues, to cultivate our happiness, and to fulfill our potential. As Epictetus said, God has given us one faculty above all, the power to make the best use of the appearances of things, to examine them, to judge them, to apply them to our own good. 4. Manage your emotions and passions. One of the main challenges that we face in our lives is how to deal with our emotions and passions. Emotions and passions are the feelings and impulses that arise in our minds and bodies, such as love, hate, joy, sorrow, anger, fear, desire, aversion, etc. Emotions and passions are not inherently bad or evil, but they can be harmful or beneficial depending on how we handle them. If we let them control us, they can cloud our reason, distort our judgment, and lead us to act irrationally, impulsively, or immorally. If we manage them properly, they can enhance our reason, inform our judgment, and motivate us to act rationally, prudently, or morally. The Stoics taught us how to manage our emotions and passions and how to transform them from destructive to constructive forces. They taught us that emotions and passions are not caused by external events, but by our own judgments and opinions about them. They taught us that we can change our emotions and passions by changing our judgments and opinions. The Stoics taught us to use our reason and judgment to examine and evaluate our emotions and passions and to identify and correct the errors or biases that produce them. They taught us to use our reason and judgment to moderate and regulate our emotions and passions and to align them with our values and goals. They taught us to use our reason and judgment to transform our negative emotions and passions, such as anger, fear, grief, or envy, into positive ones, such as calmness, courage, joy, or gratitude. The Stoics taught us to practice various exercises and techniques to manage our emotions and passions, such as self-examination, self-control, self-discipline, self-awareness, self-reflection, meditation, visualization, journaling, etc. The Stoics taught us to cultivate a state of mind that is rational, balanced, and serene, and to avoid a state of mind that is irrational, extreme, and disturbed. They taught us to be mindful, attentive, and present, and to avoid being distracted, careless, or absent. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, therefore, guard accordingly, and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." 5. Practice gratitude and generosity. One of the main benefits of practicing Stoicism is that it can help us increase our happiness and well-being. Happiness, according to the Stoics, is not dependent on external things, but on our own inner state of mind. Happiness, according to the Stoics, is not a matter of having more, but of being more. One of the ways to be more happy and fulfilled is to practice gratitude and generosity. Gratitude and generosity are two of the most powerful and positive emotions and virtues that we can cultivate and express in our lives. Gratitude is the feeling and attitude of appreciation and thankfulness for what we have and what we receive. Generosity is the feeling and attitude of kindness and benevolence for what we give and what we share. The Stoics taught us to practice gratitude and generosity in various ways, such as by being grateful for everything that happens to us, good or bad, and seeing every situation as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. By being grateful for everything that we have, big or small, and seeing everything as a gift from the universe, fate, or God. By being grateful for everyone who is in our lives, friend or foe, and seeing everyone as a teacher, a partner, or a brother. By being generous with everything that we have, time, money, or skills, and seeing everything as a resource to serve, help, and benefit others. By being generous with everyone who is in our lives, family, friends, or strangers, and seeing everyone as a recipient, a beneficiary, or a friend. By being generous with ourselves, our thoughts, feelings, or actions, and seeing ourselves as worthy, valuable, and deserving. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Conclusion. In this video, we have introduced you to the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and showed you how it can help you achieve self-improvement and happiness in the modern world. We have discussed some of the main Stoic principles and practices, such as knowing what is in your control and what is not, living according to nature, using your reason and judgment, managing your emotions and passions, practicing gratitude and generosity. We hope that you have found this video informative, inspiring, and motivating. We hope that you will apply these Stoic principles and practices in your daily life and see the positive results for yourself. We hope that you will join us in the quest for wisdom, virtue, and happiness. Remember, Stoicism is not just a philosophy, but a way of life that is practical, rational, and ethical. A way of life that can help you cope with the challenges and uncertainties of the modern world. A way of life that can help you improve yourself and your relationships with others. As Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Thank you for watching this video on Stoicism and self-improvement. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable. If you did, please give this video a like and share it with your friends. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel, VirtuVibe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. We appreciate your support and feedback, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, remember, don't explain your philosophy, embody it.